Have you ever traveled through time? We do it every day.
Asgardia is a country with a population of more than 1 million people from more than 200 countries on Earth. Asgardia gives everyone equal opportunities, no matter what their earthly status is.
It is possible to create and live in the future right now. Are you ready? Forward progress is the solution to the entire human race. Our mission is to bridge new horizons. In Asgardia, there is no limit to the universal development in the fields of technology, finance, and arts. Asgardia is a new space and digital economy which creates opportunities for the global economy. We deliver innovations. Do you want to get on board with us? We are developing various kinds of digital businesses, attracting them to the Asgardia platform that can be backed by the means of our umbrella, i.e. franchising of the Asgardia brand. We can not only attract investments into space programs from prominent institutional investors, but also affordable amounts from the citizens of Asgardia. We comprise of more than 1 million people.
Asgardia is a chance to realize one's dream. This is a dream-driven space nation. Asgardia is a chance to belong to a community of free-thinking enthusiasts, goal-driven dreamers, and fearless innovators, theorists, and scientists.
We are the first space nation. One humanity, one unity.
Asgardia.
We are creating
the future.
Hello.
Greetings.
Right, good to see you all. Right, we're live. We'll start in 1 minute. 1 minute. Yeah. So. Busy, busy, busy. Everything's so busy today. All right, let's start. Hello, everybody. Greetings. Thanks for being here. I'm Len Batopic, the chair of the Parliament of Asgardia, the world's first space nation. Our mission is to create the first permanent human community in space. Not a place we just visit sometimes, a place we can actually live, be born, work and die, fall in love, get divorced, have work. This will happen, even if it sounds like something from the future. It will happen, and we are a part of that. That's our mission. Our other objective, as I said, is to have the first baby born in space. Without that, we can't live in space. We have to be able to have the whole cycle of birth and death in space. And that is part of our work. We are the first fully functioning digital democracy on the planet. Nobody else has achieved what we're achieving. And that's important because we have so much to contribute for all humankind for all time. If you like what that sounds like, please join us, become a member of the Asgardian community. It costs €100 a year. And for that, you get all of the privileges of Asgardia, all of them. And you can stand in our elections and everything that goes with it. Today, I have 3 items, then we speak with the deputy chair. And the 3 items are the following. First of all, the Asgardia Antarctica Act, the AAA, as we call it, is the main focus of our work. Thank you for everybody who's been actively involved in the debate about the AAA. We had a very productive discussion about that on the weekend, and it lasted a few hours, and it was very serious, helpful insight, and usual main contributors really made a huge difference, especially John. Thank you, John. It's so important that I'll tell you what I'm doing about it in a moment. There may be other land that we can find. For those who are not familiar with this, if you're watching for the first time, Asgardia wants humans to be living on Asgardian territory on Earth. We need to do that to be recognized as a real nation. And when that happens, we will be able to get recognition from the United Nations. There's something called the Montevideo Convention, and there are 4 conditions for recognition as a nation. One of them is about territory. We have tried to argue the point in different ways, but the head of nation recognizes we must have land on Earth. So Asgardia's Antarctica Act is one of the possibilities, but there are other ones too. So that is my number one focus, as well as a bit of legislation for Ricky Sickles, which I'll have to finish tonight. That leads me to my second point. This is so important that next week I will go and see Dr. always call him that, Mr. Salvos Mouzakitis. He's like an academic doctor. He's a brilliant lawyer on the island of Corfu. I can't see any alternative. I need to sit down with him and I need to go through this. That's the reality. There is no real substitute for that. I have to do that. And I have to do it because some things are more easily done at a table. And John Fine, lucky man, will have to get up at 4 in the morning, 0400, which is that's local time for him, which will be, hang on, is it maybe 0500? I always work in GMT. In the middle of the night, John, he will have to join us, because we would like to have 30 minutes with John as well, and the Prime Minister, in order to make sure we can present something to the head of nation. This is so important, really, really matters. So I'll go there for probably Thursday. Now, I will probably be traveling in the evening, coming back to the United Kingdom, so we may have to change the timing of the meeting. I might see if it works for you, then maybe we'll have a very short meeting a little bit earlier on in the day. I can tell you the time. Let me just tell you the time. I will confirm this, but it'll be 1 hour earlier. I think it'll probably be at 1600. Probably. I'll check the time, but it might be a little bit earlier because I will be in the sky at the normal flight, at the normal time, returning to the UK. I'll confirm that though. So to emphasize, I kept my promise about our honest conversation at the weekend. Everyone did a great job. And so now I'm continuing to keep my promise by not directing the content. That's not my job, but by making sure that the content occurs and is then shared with the head of nation. That's, as I say, his absolute top priority, to find land. Connected to this, if you know that your government would be interested in recognizing Asgardia on land that maybe is in your country or off the coast, maybe it's an island, then please let me know, because the head of nation is interested in other ideas as well. And there may be others which can be done very quickly. So please do let me know on that one. That's exciting and really very important too. Third and the final thing for me, and then over to Peter Morn. We still don't know what's going to happen on the 12th of October this year. That's the 10th anniversary of Asgardia, but something will happen. And I will be able to tell you if it's a full sitting of the Parliament or something else. I'm working on that. And really, my important message to you is that we will celebrate Asgardia's 10 years. Some people thought it would last 1 year, maybe 6 months. But here we are, 1 decade later. 1/5 of my life has been in Asgardia. And much more of my adult life, of course, 1/4 of it. I think that we're here to stay. And as soon as I know, I'll let you know. I'll discuss this with the Prime Minister as well, Mr. Muzakidis, next Thursday. It's a week today, and I can update you. The biggest action step from all of that will be for John Fine early on that morning, but we'll talk before then. And also for you, because I'll confirm the time of the meeting next week. I'll try and confirm that before we finish this meeting. That's all I had today. Let me go to the Deputy Chair for a summary of his meeting. Greetings, Mr. Moore.
Greetings. Thank you, Chair. The meeting of the chairman of the various committees in Asgardia is often diverse in the subject matter that we discuss. But sometimes when something's so important, you end up just with a single topic, and tonight was the latter rather than the former. And we were talking about the Antarctica project, talking about developing that, talking about the chairman's trip to Corfu to talk to the Prime Minister. And really, that was it. We were focused on that. It is such an important focus for Asgardia at the moment and for our head of nation that's what we were talking about. So relatively short but concentrated meeting. And for a little short time, I thought that we weren't going to have any contribution from John Fine, which would have been caused a lot of withdrawal symptoms amongst the other chairs, because John always carries a lot of the meeting. But no, he came in, thank goodness, and contributed in his own inimitable style. So thank you for that, John. Thank you for all of the chairs. We have a fabulous range of chairs of committees in Asgardia. Fabulous. And I owe them a debt of gratitude all the time, but on a Thursday evening in particular, when they come back with their ideas and their proposals, and they are great. And if those of you who are not members of, are not residents of Asgardia, are able to join, and you can get involved as well. And it's really exciting, really exciting. So please, those of you who aren't, please do join. Be with us on our journey. And it's a journey where everyone can take part. And I've been involved in earthly politics for a long time, and everybody has the same voice. That's what everybody tells you. It isn't always true. But in Asgardia, we all do. If we don't like what Lembedobeg, our chair, is doing, then we tell him in the same way that he would tell us. It's a great project. Wonderful, true democracy. Come and join us if you haven't already, and let's take this forward together. That's all I've got, Chair.
Thank you very much. Wise words, well expressed. So let me open it to everyone else. There's so much work going on that this meeting might not be so busy today, because I'm speaking to so many people, Vicky Sickles and Peter and Sarah and so many others, Mark and Salvos Muzakidis. I'll just say a couple of things, and if no one raises their hands, then we'll finish. It's really important that we get this AAA right, because we've got to get the territory right. But I do know that what we're learning here means we might more easily be able to make the. Oh, sorry, because I knew that was coming. I'm going to make the territorial claim credible and also agreeable to the United Nations. Somehow or other, we need to do that. I know that Mr. Mark Beer was with the group today in the meeting, and that's great. And so we had his influence as well in that discussion. And just really to add that what will happen as we develop more successes, lots of people will want to get involved. But Asgardia will always remember the people who are here to begin with, the people who really felt brave and able to support the mission that we have, which is to reach for the stars. Right, Ariadne, please. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, we are so close to the celebration of the Unity Day. The next first, Leo first, and I want to express my reflection about that, and not only mine, because many people around the world wants to connect with us and say what they think about the Unity Day, and I think it's amazing. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. I agree with you. The Unity Day, the 12th, the 10th anniversary of Asgardia on the 12th of October. It's a big day for us. I really hope we will be together. That's been my recommendation. And I'm trying to find creative solutions to do that. And we'll see what happens. And also we need location. The best thing would be to be celebrating our Unity Day in a country that recognizes us. And I'm still working on that. That's very important to me. Very, very important. Would anyone else like to make any comments today? Okay, let me get to action steps then. Raise your hand if you want to, but I'm just going to summarize otherwise. I will see the Prime Minister next week. I can confirm that the intended time for the next meeting will be 1400 UTC, because I'll be in between aircraft then. 1400 UTC, and I can give you a report back from the meeting with Mr. Musakitis. There's a possibility we could have a brief contribution from him in the session, but I don't think we will have time. And also, it's a very bad time for people in the Americas, because for Ariadne it'll be something like 1 or 2 in the morning. For Sarah it'll be 3 in the morning. John's making a sacrifice already. So I don't want to cause trouble for you in that way. But I can give you an update between the flights because of the route I take. I have to stop on the way. And so that's fine. It's not a problem at all. And the two things I want to talk with them about, really the two things are the AAA and also arrangements for the 12th of October, which we will, of course, in both cases, propose to the head of nation. And then the other thing to do is to simply say, if we are going to be together on the 12th, if we are, we must make the most of it. And I really will ask you again, if you know of any territory that any government is interested in maybe giving to us, maybe, please let me know, because I would really like to put that forward for the head of nations, the head of nations consideration. And just imagine if by the 12th of October, as is my dream, we have real territory somewhere, real territory, meaningful territory, where people can be, visit, own, and live. It's exciting. I share Ariadne's enthusiasm. One last piece of any other business. Artemis 3, the ambitious project of NASA as a stepping stone to the moon. The crew has been announced and they will be flying next year, I think. Artemis 3 is like Apollo 9. Apollo 9, which flew with my friend Rusty Schweikart as the lunar module pilot, was a full-up test run of all the elements before Apollo 10 did a dress rehearsal landing, didn't land, but came within about 6 to 10 miles of the lunar surface. But Apollo 9 was the full test run, the full shakedown of the entire system, and that's what Artemis 3 will be. And it's said that we should see humans on the moon again in 2028. That's pretty exciting. And then our children will be able to see what some of us remember, the moon landings. What a remarkable thing that was. And let's hope it will inspire a generation. And that's good for us because more people will be interested in what we do then. But we have to be ready for that. And so please think about ways we can promote Asgardia and really push the message out there in order to get our job done, which is to create a sustained, lasting, long-term case study, role model for others to follow for life in space. Ricky.
Yes. Speaking of NASA, one of our members has done a project with NASA that didn't cost them a dime to do. And they had put this project before Parliament some years back, and it was always told that it can't be done. So they went ahead, filled out the paperwork, got the approval, and now the project's going to be taken care of. At the moment, I'm not going to say who it is or what the project is, because I'm trying to get them to bring it forward. This is something that we've all had issues with, where people would bring something forward and then told, no, it's going to cost too much money, instead of just trying to do it, you know. I know there's been times where I'd happily give up my solars to put towards a project to get it done. But it's just something that we've had issues with in the past. But one of our people went ahead and did it anyway, and it didn't cost them a dime to do it. So that's something I think that some of our people need to think about, instead of saying, no, it can't be done because of finances. Find a way to do it. Several of us have talked about crowdfunding. So, some of our people know how that system works, and it could be very beneficial for us to use that. You know, I've been thinking about this for a while now, and it's just, there's projects that can be done. Yeah, it might cost some money. There's been a couple of projects that our own people have spent their own money to get done, and are thinking about how to go about doing things needs to be shifted. It needs a fundamental change. And, you know, with especially now, since we're trying to get territory, we need to have a fundamental change in how we think about doing projects, how to get them done, whether we have to put up the money or if it can be done without us putting up the money. That's all I got to say on that. Right? Okay. But I'll keep you informed on the other.
Thank you. Yeah, that requires no real response from me. But we have to get the economy going. There's no doubt. We have to get the economy going. It's just absolutely essential. And I know that we need to do something right to achieve that. We need to work out what that is. It could be the territory point. Could be the territory point. So, any other business? Okay. Well, I believe there's some other big launches coming up. We wish those spacefarers good luck. And with the explosion that Mr. Bezos' rocket experienced, we realized that there's always a danger. But what really matters is that we are the people who aren't building so much of the hardware, but we're building the human systems that should make the world in space just a little bit safer than it would be otherwise. Our mission there in space, quite simply, to how can I put it, to deliver a lasting benefit to everybody who wants to live in space, that we have touched those communities that are searching for ways to create sustainable common sense systems out there, and then our legacy will live on. And it's nice to, whether you admit it or not, it's quite nice to do something which has longevity that lasts. That's why Cheryl Gallagher's really bold expedition into space with artifacts from the Asgardian society is a really wonderful achievement, because that will be there thousands of years now, and it'll clearly be one of the theme park attractions where it landed on the moon, as I think many of the spacecraft, probably all of the spacecraft from these early days, will be. Just imagine how many people will go to see the Apollo 11 site, which will clearly be a protected place of historical interest, and also of educational significance too. And in 100 years' time, people will think it's amazing that the technology from 1969, from say 150 years before then, was basically able to take people to the moon and back 6 times. Okay, thank you. That's everything. If you like what you've seen, please do join Asgardia. All you have to do is go to the Asgardia Space Nation site, pay €100 in your currency, whatever that is, and then you'll get all of the benefits of being a resident of Asgardia, including being able to stand in the elections that we have at least once every 5 years, and sometimes we have by-elections in between as well. You can stand for Parliament, you can stand for my position, you can even apply to be a minister in the government. The most important thing is that you play your part as we go back into space in peace for all humankind, above and beyond Earth orbit. So thank you very much, everybody. Have a very good rest of the day. Aho, as we like to say. We got to 27. Aho, Ariadne. We got to 27. Yeah. We got to 27, so that means 13. When we get to 13, I'll shut it down.